Are you lost? Sorry, there's not a lot I can do for you.
Well, you're obviously not from around here. I don't believe I've ever seen visitors in the Bureau before, come to think of it. If you were from around here, you'd probably be off enjoying yourself in Prosperity Plaza, not poking around the Bureau. Alonso Vallejos. Extraordinarily pleased to make your acquaintance, and so on and so forth. I'm currently operating a sightseeing tour of sorts. Think of it as a guided journey across Halcyon. Would you be interested in a trial run? Glad you asked. Our tour guides you across some of the most picturesque and breathtaking sights around Halcyon. We've placed some beacons across a series of locations around Halcyon. All you have to do is follow the beacons to adventure. That slogan's a work in progress. So, what do you think? Are you interested? Well then, that just makes you the perfect test subject. If my guided tours can impress you, they'll impress anyone. Outstanding! Here, you'll need this special triangulating device. Think of it as a wireless compass, pointing the way to the next beacon. When you find a beacon, this device records your discovery and directs you to the next stop on your tour. Find every beacon, finish your tour, and come back here to claim your commemorative hat. Simple!
How'd you do that so fast? Real slick. You gotta teach me that.
I tell you what, we'll change the font in our contracts as per your request. If you...
I love Byzantium. Where else are you going to find art? Remember that stranger I saw in the square? I've always...
What's gone into Bachmeier?
Dr. Ellie, you ever wonder if maybe we got some things in common? This isn't another thing about wrenches and guns, is it? Because you're a surgeon and I'm a mechanic. We both fix things, heal them up. Hate to break it to you, but before I got to Groundbreaker, I fixed more noses than bones. Nowadays, I probably shoot more than I save. Oh.
This property is off limits. Solicitors, loiterers, and uninvited visitors will be fined to the fullest extent of company policy. This ultimatum brought to you by Universal Defense Logistics. That's funny. The Minister isn't expecting visitors, and you don't much look like one of those couriers from HPS. Minister Clark's a private man, and you're asking too many questions.
Great work.
I love Byzantium.
Spacer's Choice 2-hour energy brew. Watch out for hour 3.
I'm afraid I can't come down.
Those wastrels in Emerald Vale have all abandoned their work, did you know?
You have a rather exotic presence.
Those wastrels in Emerald Vale have all abandoned.
I don't have time for this.
Today's trends are tomorrow's trash.
I'm afraid I can't help you at the moment. Have a prosperous day.
How may I be of... How... That...
My dear fellow,
Remember that...
find this.
Oh, for the good old days when
You don't much like me, huh, Dr. Ailey? It's nothing personal. I'm just not the touchy-feely type. It's just... You seem fine with the others. Did I do something to make you unhappy with me? You gotta stop taking things so personal.
There's nothing to see here.
Chasing us off already? This feels familiar.
Ma'am, please don't cause a scene.
I want you to know I'm holding back for your sake.
Do you have any actual business here? Oh. Yeah? Let's see it. Huh. Looks like your papers are in order. All right. Go on through.
Move along.
Hey, you! Hey, soldier! Just make sure you drop.
Oh, you got that?
How did you get in here? You're not one of my guards. What are you doing here?
Oh, my law. Captain! Captain! That's the minister! Mr. Clark! Oh, wow!
So, this is one of the guys who runs the colony, huh? Small room for a big shot.
If this is about another Aetherwave clip or radio spot, you may kindly fuck off, as the parlance goes. I'm not doing any more. Slowly and loudly, Aloysius, it's the only way these morons understand anything. I said, you may tell Charles to go fuck himself. Then you're not part of Rockwell's PR team. That means you're a dissident? A real live dissident? But what are you doing here? And how did you get in? My friend, the slightest demonstration of independent thought or action renders one a dissident in the board's rather expansive definition of the term, which is why I'm dying to know what brought you here. Drugs, of course. What else? Why did I get my hopes up? Back to idiot speak. I don't have any drugs. You should try a vending machine or a purveyor of curative goods.
He's got no idea what we're asking about.
Will that be all, then? Process of elimination. The only other person with access? Of course, of course. It's Rockwell again. Who else? And I thought he was only holding me here to keep me out of the way. You are a quick study, indeed. I've long suspected Rockwell of transacting business in my name, but this proves it.
You've been all alone in this house? Would you like me to make you tea?
Please, this is important. Whatever it is that brought you here, Rockwell's the one behind it. Whatever Rockwell's doing, he'll be doing it from the HHC headquarters. Your best lead is to look for details in his office.
This all feels off, Captain. Like when there's a storm coming, but everything's quiet and still.
Believe me, things have been off around here for a very, very long time. A reckoning is most certainly due.
We really gonna do this? Getting involved is a messy business, and it rarely pays.
This is about more than bits. This is about the survival of the colony. If you don't help, who will? Why, this is starting to sound like an issue of Dissident Hunter. Halcyon Holdings Corporation, the collective of companies that run the colony together. Allegedly in partnership with the Earth Directorate and appointed Minister of Earth. Via the Acropolis District, of course. That's where the most important corporate and government facilities are. But only board employees are allowed into the district. There's a heavily guarded checkpoint just down the street. There might be a route through the maintenance tunnels, but I'm afraid I don't know specifics. Most people avoid the area for obvious reasons. Well, you won't have much human company down there. Plenty of sprats and automechanicals, though. When you reach the HHC building, this access card should get you up to the executive suites, where the chairman's office and what used to be my office are. Oh, I haven't been allowed up there in years. I shudder to think what Rockwell's done with the place. A gilded minibar, perhaps? A personal theater. The man has too much money and too little sense. The board's lackeys are none too bright. I simply claimed I'd lost it and hid it somewhere no one would think to look. I merely hid it in a book. No one reads anything longer than a few pages around here. There are a few advantages to dealing with imbeciles. Wait! Rockwell has one of the only terminals capable of transmitting to the Earthbound message drone. This is our chance. Please, take this and transmit it from his office. Rockwell hasn't given me any messages from Earth for years. He's desperate to keep me out of contact with the Earth Directorate. But they need to know what's happening here. What isn't on it is the real question. I've gathered meeting minutes, internal messages, sustainability reports, and more, all exposing the corruption and mismanagement plaguing Halcyon. Once the rest of the Earth Directorate sees it, they'll have to send help.
But they wouldn't get here for... I don't even know. Shouldn't we do something our own selves?
It's worth a try. But the Earth Directorate still needs that message. We must hope for their intervention. Depending on the nature of their response, months at least, perhaps years. Organizing and sending personnel all the way out here is no mean feat. Perhaps there is hope after all. And now I entrust it to you. Good luck, and trust no one in the Acropolis district. What a How delightful. What is it? The latest issue of Dissident Hunter! I've been waiting for this. Most of what passes for entertainment here is appalling. Well, this is curious. It seems someone's sneaking a few things by the sensors. This is a promising direction indeed. Haven't you heard? Chairman Rockwell and I are on a goodwill tour of the colony as we speak. Aside from battalions of UDL security forces, most of Halcyon knows my name and face, so I could hardly evade Rockwell for long. Besides, remaining close has allowed me to learn just how wrong things have gone around here. Except for the bit about my suddenly coming down with stomach flu last year. That truly happened. Probably because I've no interest in being his puppet. My predecessor was content to serve as Rockwell's lapdog. When he saw I meant to oppose him, he made sure I'd have little opportunity to. It's quite all right. I've got every back issue of Dissident Hunter to keep me company. Are you telling me you haven't read one? They're fabulously entertaining. Also, they're a surprisingly useful means of ascertaining what's going on in the broader colony. The board's most pressing grievances tend to feature heavily as the problem of the week. Sometimes it's factory strikes, other times it's dissenters. Why, I do all the work no one else wants to do. I write reports no one ever reads, monitor colony statistics that no one pays attention to. When I'm not being conscripted to perform in the chairman's propaganda, of course.
Look on the bright side, Mr. Clark. When folks come looking for those reports one day, imagine how excited they'll be to find your work. Could do a whole heap of good.
I only hope someone comes looking before it's too late. It sometimes feels as though I'm writing these reports purely for my own amusement. That's what I tell myself, but it can be rather dispiriting. Halcyon is headed for a collapse, and no one seems inclined to do anything about it.
You say these things like you're surprised. And then I gotta remind myself that you've been locked away for years.
If Halcyon falls apart, it will take all of us with it, laborer and executive alike. What astounds me is that no one is inclined to change our course.
You and your pen pal seem to be getting along.
Don't make it small. When you say it like that, it sounds stupid.
Whoa, take it easy. Didn't realize you were so wrapped up.
You're doing it again.
Oh, there. That's one right there. Can't you just see the stench of impropriety radiating off of him?
How splendid.
Another rung leech wandering through the street. How splendid. Another rung leech wandering through the streets of Byzantium. Why, just this morning I thought to myself, as lovely as the gardens are, what they really need is more greasy vagrants frolicking through them. And here you are, frolicking. Forgive me if my manners don't live up to the standards of an interloper who accosts total strangers in their own neighborhood. Honestly, what is the board thinking letting so many of your ilk into the city proper? It's madness. I earned my place here, just like everyone else. My grandfather was the CIO at Tile, you see. Chief Idea Officer. He came up with all the best ideas for their products. You know the font they use for Stogie Slims? That was him. Well, he described the idea of it to their font development team, then picked it from a list of choices, but that's basically the same thing. It was a very long list. Let's see. He picked the colors they included in rainbow chips. No one else wanted purple, but he insisted. Everyone loves the purple ones. And you know how the Cosmic Smokes logo has an eye in the middle of a heptagon? He said that one came to him in a dream. He was a true visionary, so far ahead of his time. I just told you, my grandfather made millions of bits as CIO, and I earned them from him. Of course it is. Wealth is the most visible, objective measure of success. And success isn't given to you, it's earned. My grandfather taught me that. If you have wealth, you're successful, and if you're successful, you must have earned it. Honestly, it's a simple concept. You're welcome. Now, do we have any further business, or are you just here for the repartee? What's wrong? It erodes the very pillars of our society. Merit, decorum, personal hygiene. This city is meant for us, the system's finest. We earned its luxuries. But now we are overrun with the unworthy and the ungrateful, and this early retirement nonsense is making it even worse. Oh, do spare me your petty judgment. It's beneath me. Millions and millions of bits beneath me. By simply winning a lottery, those early retirees get an exclusive district of Byzantium to themselves. No one else is even allowed to go there. Tell me, how is that fair? Oh, by the law. I mean the principle of it, not the mechanics. It's not right. I deserve to see any district I please. Why, if it weren't guarded, I'd... You know, you look like you've been shot at before. What say I hire you to investigate this travesty, and you get paid to do so?
She's got a point. We're probably gonna get shot at anyway. Might as well make a few bits.
Yes. Listen to your... What is that person's job exactly? Are they your secretary? Personal masseuse? Or do you just keep them around as a mobile armrest? Well, it doesn't matter. What's important is that you think this is a fabulous arrangement, and you'd be thrilled to lend me your services. Aren't you? Did you miss the part where I said I'd pay you? That's all the reason someone like you should require. Better than money? Let's see, there's... No. The thrill of discovery. Like in an Aetherwave adventure. People love those, right? Don't you want to see what the retirement district is like? Fantastic. Consider yourself employed, vagrant. I hear the chosen retirees all enter the retirement district via the port landing pad, but it's completely locked down. You'd never get in that way. Unless, of course, you had a wealthy, beautiful benefactor of impeccable social pedigree. Which you do. How fortunate for you. These codes will get you past the lockdown. Oh, And don't worry about subtlety. I don't care how you deal with security, just correct this injustice at all costs. The same way anyone gets anything here, of course. I made friends with the right people. Bits might earn you a place in Byzantium, but that means everyone here has little need for more of them. For favors like this, you need to spend... let's call it social capital.
Rizzo's mock apple cider. A hard cider for a hard...
I tell you what.
I only wish they weren't showing so many Spacer's Choice ads in the commercial breaks. Who did it?
Anti-Cleo's energizing ointment. Enjoy 6 cups worth of concentrated caffeine in every cup.
If I spin... That's the last of them.
Finally. Is it just me, or are we getting more and more retirees?
Welcome to the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Early Retirement Center. You, the lucky few, have been selected to spend the rest of your days living the high life in your own private district in Byzantium. When you arrive, you'll be whisked away to your very own luxury penthouse, furnished exclusively by 24/7 Furniture's deluxe Falscowood collection.
Processing data sweeping. Security. Beginning security unauthorized person. Security patrol agent.
I see him there! great arena match, but the board's gotta make it a death trap. I could put these parts to much better use. Great work!
Out with it, you wretched contraption! Does nothing in this...
Oh, I must admit, I knew it. I just knew it. What a disaster. Did you get a good look around? What was it like? Truly? Why, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. Here.
So, how many times have you seen Terror on Monarch?
Terror on Monarch loses its appeal after the 5th viewing. Now, Titus Androidicus, there's a work of timeless culture.
For all auditions, please use the elevator on the left.
and pictures. That business is piracy than civil. If you could just leave me back at the ship, I'm sure there's something ought to be fixing now.
Great! You made it! Listen, I know you're expecting a script, but you're the real deal. Just go in there and do what feels natural. We gave the other actors real weapons to keep things authentic. And 'cause Josh is paying to see their logo on the big screen. Don't think, kid. Just act. Now go in there, find your mark, and show us what you got.
Well, well. Here to stop us at last, Captain Steele? You're too late. All of this settlement CNP Hungry Time food pills, same nutritional value, but now with added filler, are ours. With their patented static stuffing effects and baseline vitamin content, we will be nigh unstoppable. Here to stop us at last, Captain Steele? You're too... Oh, sorry. I already said that.
Can I shoot someone? Wait, are we the good guys or the bad guys? Doesn't matter. I want to shoot someone.
Do you remember the last time we faced each other? The Battle of Axejack, staring one another down across the void of space while flaming debris fell like rain around us. What indeed? I had you surrounded and outgunned, but you overcame my superior numbers with tactical thinking and a Hammersmith limited edition grenade launcher. I've been waiting for 5 years now, and at last my day for vengeance has come! We screen tested that, and the audiences forgot all about it. I have this whole port wired with sub-micro energon transistors. Once we're away, I'll activate the gamma particulate field, and the quantaponic chain reaction will turn this whole place into vaporized plasma.
Plasma's already a vapor-like kind of thing. You can't re-vaporize it. Can you?
Quiet. You're supposed to be an extra. I hope you've paid your burial fees and signed your personal death and dismemberment waivers, because this is the end for you.
Stop! It's make-believe!
He's really shooting! Safety's off!
Here they come! Got him! You got him!
Someone calling the janitor auto mix. And you, Captain, baby, you were great. Let's take 5.
Whatever he offers you, ask for more.
Don't mess it up!
Well, with... Do... I hope you've paid... He's re...
Someone call in the janitor auto mix. And you, Captain Baby, you were great. Let's take 5.
Whatever he offers you, ask for more.
There's my star. Walk and talk with me. I knew you had chops, but that was something else. You found the energy in the scene and ran with it. That was visceral. Liked it. I fucking loved it. The lawyers are another story. But you let me worry about them. You just hang on to that energy. It'll take a few months to get your contract set up, but it'll be worth it. Here's your fee for today, but there's more to come.
Rizzo's mock apple cider.
I think we can both
A
agree
hard
that
cider
Maverick
for a
Johnston
hard
is the
life.
finest director in Hollywood.
I tell you. What? What? Change the font in our contracts as per your request. If you'll replace them.
I've always loved that skull.
I can't. If I do somehow drop dead in here, promise me you'll drag my corpse somewhere with monsters.
What can I do for you, darling? If I were an enterprising space...
I love Byzantium.
Welcome, intrepid adventurer, to Prosperity Plaza, where the shops never close. Now, make your way to the bustling region of Emerald Vale. Prepare to be dazzled by the Vale's breathtaking lava flows, rated the third most impressive in Halcyon.
If I spit, think I can get that?
You'll get in trouble.
No, I won't. I'll blame it on you.
We're now in orbit above Fallbrook, Captain. I think I'll initiate an unscheduled rest cycle while you're out.
Well, well, aren't you the very picture of good health and sound decision-making? However, we can't make good decisions all the time. Consider whoopsie-daisy coverage. Please note that to make a claim under this policy, you must describe your error in detail before a panel of relatives over the age of 65. And also note that doing so nullifies the Privacy and Dignity Clause. I remember that one. That's the young socialite who broke her neck, right? That claim was airtight. Our best investigators couldn't find an exclusion for that one. Well, we interviewed the parents extensively. They had plenty of awkward childhood stories that illustrated their daughter's clumsiness and capriciousness. Furthermore, the claim spurred a whole line of fashion-related policies. It's become a very lucrative market. You can't, of course. Only Miss Fenhill can assign her beneficiaries. And she's dead. If we let every friend, relative, and acquaintance change a policy like that, people would do it all the time. Imagine the paperwork. Oh, you mean hypothetically? Well, hypothetically, you'd access the terminal in the back room that contains data on all our policies. And you'd, theoretically, add the beneficiary of your choice. But you wouldn't actually do that, of course. That would be fraud. Of course she is. The paperwork says so. That's for the best. What can I...
Always imagined Fallbrook would be...
This looks like the place.
You must be back. Be advised that any claim submitted under this policy must include I'm afraid if we let every friend, relative... Please, my policy only covers paper cuts and wrist strain. Very well, I'll do it. But then you've got to go. Confrontations like this will raise my premiums. I'll need the name of the new beneficiary.
Ellie Fenhill?
If you say so. The payouts will flow exclusively into the new account at the start of the month. I hope Ms. Fenhill enjoys her newfound prosperity.
Can we talk?
You really did it. Give these payouts a few years and I'll be rolling in it. I've never been prouder to stand back and watch someone else work. I'm just glad my folks aren't gonna live off that awful story they made up. Maybe now they'll have to go back to real jobs. Come on, I thought we were celebrating. You want me to think about the future? Maybe you haven't noticed, but you can't even count on a bribe making it into the right pocket. What's the point of planning for anything around here? Hate to say it, but Halcyon's already there. Anyway, enough of that. You did a job for me, so here's your fee. Could have fooled me with all your tough talk. What's gotten into you? You sure? Because my kind of friends will pick your pocket clean while they're getting hammered with you. You don't have to get all mushy about it. Still, maybe you've got a point. Maybe it's good to watch someone's back now and then so that one day they watch yours. So, you just keep the money. One of us has to look out for your interests. It's nothing personal. It's just the closest thing I've got to a code. Anyway, enough of the touchy-feelies, huh? Something on your mind?
Well, this is the spot. You know, I thought I'd be angry. I thought I'd storm in here in a rage and exterminate all these bugs and everything would be all right in the end. But I ain't. I'm mostly just empty. A little sad, maybe. The first night Hayes and I spent in here, we knew it was home. It's safe. It's got a nice chill to it. But mostly, it doesn't stink of sulfur. Monarch folks often joke about it. Not because of the smell or the grittiness it leaves in your throat. Not because of the headaches or the coughing. It's because there's no escaping it. It's life here, and there ain't anything you can do about it. But here, somehow the sulfur never made it. The nights we spent in here felt like vacations. So we started building. We hauled in steel, hired sublight folk to help. That's how we met Anders and Opal. They stuck around after our contract was up. Opal liked camping. Anders liked chasing her tail. 4 of us for a while, scraping together what bits we could to build our home. Then came Rebecca, a sawbones out of the Cascadia survivors, who took a kindness to Hayes. And Clara, her little sister. I'll admit I wasn't keen on taking her on at first, but for a teenager, she was surprisingly capable. Believe me, I had my complaints. She had a head for numbers, helped us trade hides for food and materials, negotiated contracts. Turned out to be mighty useful. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, and me. 6 folks, 1 name, 1 family, Charon. Despite Monarch trying to kill us day in and day out, we managed to belong.
Incoming! We did it. We fucking did it! I'd hug you if I weren't covered in guts. Come on, let's find those medallions. Making it look easy. You make it look so easy.
I wish these were more auspicious circumstances, but at least we're all here. This bringing them together, burying them. This is the kind of thing Hayes would have done. That makes it stupid. By all accounts, we should have left well enough alone, but that also makes it right. Captain, thank you. You mind if we rest a spell before we head out? I'd like to bury Opal and Clara proper before I lay everyone's medallions to rest. What? Why? Them's painful memories, Captain. Huh. That ain't a bad point. All right, Captain. Thanks. You know, I'd been assuming this entire stay on your ship thing isn't a permanent arrangement. Part of my contract? That said, You ain't been eaten or shot to death yet. Says a lot about the stability of your future. And to be honest, I'm about sick of sleeping on bar stools. So how's about this? You keep letting me stay on that ship of yours, and I'll keep shooting at the things you point at. Perish the thought, Captain. What's up? Oh, every first night I do a lot of things, Captain. So, I'm up against this old man from somewhere on Terra 2, long retired and looking for adventure he hadn't found in his youth. Thing is, he's smarter than the average tourist. Tighter. I'm chipping away at his wallet, but it's a slow-going, frustrating game. So then, Rebecca sits at the table. I hadn't known she could even play, let alone that she'd be willing to. For her part, she did fine. Didn't lose much. But the tourist, the old Terra 2 retiree, Rebecca distracted him something awful, and I took him for all he had. Oh, yes. Rebecca and I became fast friends that night. I'd give quite a bit to see her at the tables again.
Destination reached. The Groundbreaker.
All right. She's on her way. How do I look? You bet I am. You don't want to know how much engine gunk came off me in the shower. Oh, my hands have finally stopped shaking. All right. Deep breath. Here I go. Anyhow, so I told him, Dad, I'm a big girl now. I ain't need your help. I can do it on my lonesome.
What did he say to that?
Have at it then. And he handed me his favorite wrench, the one he used for the canner. He was probably half as tall as I was.
He didn't scold you for talking back to him?
Nah, he was never like that. I always thought it was funny when I get indignant about something. Then he'd watch me do whatever it was, make sure I didn't get hurt, but he'd never interfere. I learned a lot that way.
I wish I could have met him. Anyone who helped shape you must have been a special person. I could see why Parvati seems so happy here.
Isn't this swell?
My father and I were off.
Rizzo's lemon slap. Slap your roll gently tonight.
Finally, a base of our own. Soon we'll have eyes on every corner of the system. Well done, Captain. Technically, you did. Among other things, Sublight is a charity, legally speaking. Or so my lawyers tell me. It's a tax thing. Here, just take the bits. Aside from the automated security, did you meet any resistance at the station? Why would they leave an asset like that unprotected? Unless... Could the station be a trap? Unlikely. But possibly. One more thing to consider. I've been less than honest with you. Your assignments weren't strictly about the salvage business. You might have figured that out already. You have an eye for patterns. Good. We need more contractors like you. After the Monarch job, I started connecting the dots. I didn't like the picture. Then what we found at Station 1084 confirmed my fears. You and I have stumbled onto something big. Something none of us were meant to know. Maybe the worst. Ask yourself why a skeleton crew was studying that Alta Vitae gas in secret. Ask yourself why stockpiles were hidden on a planet full of monsters. No, they were hiding something the colony isn't ready to know. Before we go any further, I want you to keep an open mind. Can you do that for me, Captain? You call that an open mind? All right, here goes. Aliens. I'm talking about aliens. They're the ones responsible for the deaths at 1084, and who knows what else. We have to put a stop to it.
I knew it. Aliens from other worlds been visiting Halcyon.
At least one of your crew can keep an open mind. But this isn't some Aetherwave serial, Millstone. This is reality. Hear me out. I'm saying it's aliens. I'm not asking you to like it. I'm not even asking you to believe it. But I need to act on this threat to the colony, and I can't do it alone.
Captain, in my humble assessment, Ms. Hagen is insane.
Damn, she's serious. Tragic, ain't it? What age does to your mental faculties?
Your crew is skeptical. That's good. I don't want you walking into the unknown with blindfolds on. I assume you have questions? If we're gonna see this through, I'll need your trust and commitment. Now's the time for setting doubts aside. Conspiracy. One carried out with the help of human collaborators, assuming they haven't all been replaced. This is an invasion of our very cells. That damned gas is mixing our nucleon with halcyon biology to twist us, change us, make us more like those monsters on Monarch. No kidding. That's how they want it. When I lined up the evidence in my spreadsheet, there was only one possible conclusion looking back at me. This is my data talking, not my anxiety or lack of sleep. Sharing my findings took a calculated risk. If you were a spy, I doubt you'd even realize it. Only your cells would know. Tobias, get my knife. The big one. That was a joke. Ha. We each get one. Now, back to business. Dr. Chartrand is the crooked psychopath behind the gas experiments. She sold out her species, and I need you to put a bullet through her skull.
Just think of it as salvaging hope from the smoking wreckage of humanity. This is your initiation into a future with sublight. Want a steady position in our ranks? Buy one with a bullet. Well, there's your usual fee. What else do you want, a promotion? It's yours. Even better. I'll owe you one. She's a research scientist and a damn good one. Before UDL poached her, she engineered a 0.2% increase in cystipig juiciness. Now she's doing the same thing with humanity. Her fingerprints were all over Station 1084. You saw what she did to her team. It's cute that you'd think that about me. I just want to add Savior of Humanity to my resume. I've got ambitions outside of this office, you know. Besides, this way Sublight gets first dibs on alien salvage. Do you usually come across innocent people trapped in suspension tanks? Because some of us would call that excessive. Remember, the tanks were just the shit she left behind. Just imagine the experiments she carted off to her next lab. We're far beyond theories. Chartrand's logs, the gas, the suspension tanks, how much proof do you need? Wake up, Captain. An invasion needs collaborators working from the shadows. She has access to the board, unlimited funds, and a colony full of sheep. This keycard will get you through the front door of her Byzantium estate. Don't ask how I got it. You might not like the answer. By now, the other side knows what you're doing. Don't trust anything Chartrand says. She's compromised down to the bone. Maybe even deeper than that.
C&P Borsworth. It's not the worst unless it's Borsworth.
What can I do for you?
Oh, it's Martin. Hey, Martin. Still wearing the hat?
How observant. I'm authorized to state that this uniform is more than headgear. It's a state of mind, and our customers know the difference.
The news packet had the tossball scores from the Connors. What about the rail gliding championship?
Hey, I didn't think anyone but natives followed that. Hell, I know space hands who don't even think it a sport.
So, that's a no?
No. Storm season ran long. When I left, the Mortosis clouds were still stirred up.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Browse. Report any sightings to your local board and...
Hey, look who...
A reminder to all crew members, there is only one toilet on the ship.
Okay, Captain, she's gone. I feel like running laps around the cargo bay. So she got here, and, well, she sneezed. She said, wow, new soap? And I was like, yeah, rosish. Turns out it tickled her nose. Oops. And then she just sort of touched my arm real gentle-like, and called the cut of my outfit elegant. I couldn't hear the rest on account of my heart was beating so hard. Then I led her into the kitchen. I think she about cried when she saw the spread. Well, sure you could see, but I thought maybe you'd want to know some of what was said. You ain't much of a romantic, huh, Captain? She stood stock still and just said, "Oh, real soft." Oh, and let me tell you, I was sweating. And then she blinked and said, "Is that dustbat casserole?" I told her how we got Mr. Raymond to bake it for us, so it was double authentic. Made by a real live monarch person. Well, we talked a bunch over dinner about the things we learned just through messages, stuff we repaired, how I taught her to salvage and she taught me to build. When I brung out the sweetheart cakes, June, she got a little teary, said she had a thing she needed to say. But I stopped her because I wanted to say it first. I never felt so bold, Captain. One of us has got to be. We're both... June's so reserved and I'm so shy. I worried if I never said anything, nothing would ever get said, you know? I told her about how she made me feel. Bold like I acted, strong, smarter and kinder than I am on my lonesome. I listed all the things I liked about her. And then she pulled out a paper and read a speech. She talked about the things she admired about me, like my cleverness and my humor, and how it made her want to be more open. She was worried she wouldn't get the words out right, especially after that message about Isabel. It's sweet. Anyhow, when she wrapped up, I asked her to be my girlfriend. And Captain, she said yes! And then she sneezed again, on account of the flowery soap. We talked about it some. I told her I wasn't sure how it would work, how I've had a bad time of it in the past. She said we'll take it as it comes. Fix things together. Share meals, talk. Maybe she could rub my shoulders when they're sore. I said I might like that. It's all on your account, you know. Imagine if you'd never taken me out of Edgewater. I'd have never met Junlei at all. I don't know nothing about the Vicar's capital P plan, but you've sure changed my life. So, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna head to my cabin and happy scream into my pillow for like an hour.